Hello, this message is for a specific person who has requested a reading with me. And I don't do private personal readings. I'm not doing this for money or anything. This is just someone that I wanted to help because I really believe in what they're trying to do and what they're contributing to the rest of the world. I mean, if I'm here trying to save the world, I really want to support anyone else who's here trying to save the world as well. So I'm shuffling the cards for this person. And I said I would do this reading for them for free if I could put it up on YouTube and use it as an example for someone else to learn from. So this reading is for anyone who is a wildlife rehabilitation worker, or if you own a sanctuary, or if you work with animals, large animals, small animals, in any way, shape, or form, and you are facing financial difficulties right now with your farm, with your home. There's different. I support goat sanctuaries because I'm a Capricorn and I love goats, so I always support all of that. And I actually used to be a volunteer wildlife rehabilitation worker downtown Chicago. I would patrol. I got my little ID, my license and everything, and I would patrol downtown Chicago for, during both migration seasons, for when the birds would hit the buildings because they can't see flying at the dark and they would fall, and I would go pick them up. I was trained to, I'm not going to tell you, but you basically pick them up a certain way, and I picked them up right after they hit, and I would take them back to be triaged. And so I learned a lot about birds and animals, and I did that for free for years. And I rehabbed, everyone just kind of knew me as that person. If anyone found raccoons or baby squirrels or, little animals, they always brought them to me because I was always the one who would do that. I was always the one who would, wow, I just got two cards that came out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start the reading. These just sort of popped out at me. I wasn't even trying. So let's see where it goes. Okay, the bottom of the deck card is the Four of Staves. So this is some sort of contract. This is traditionally a partnership of love. This is a marriage. This is a relationship that is set in stone in concrete terms, okay? That's the bottom of the deck card, and this is going to be kind of like the overlay to the rest of the reading. And the first two cards that kind of popped out, I wasn't even going to do that. I wasn't going to shuffle until cards popped out. I was going to shuffle, cut my deck, and then deal out my Celtic cross. But these two cards popped out, and I think it means something. So let's just see what I'm going to show you what they are. The first one is the Six of Cups. This is nostalgia. This is something from the past. This is a relationship from the past. And because it's crossed by the World card, this is a major cycle coming to an end. This is something that is a lifetime learning. So you're learning this. You're ending a cycle of knowledge that has taken perhaps either a lifetime or at the very least 14, 30 years to learn. And it's coming to a close. And this is a little bit Saturnian, very Saturn ruled, with the karmic lessons and the timing and just things that take a really long time to mature and to sort of go over time, if that makes any sense. So that being covered, that covering this Six of Cups is telling me that there's something about the past that is coming to a close. And it could be for some people, it could be some of the farms or the sanctuaries, or even a way of doing business, or it could even be a relationship or a partnership that you're in with someone that, sorry, this is really bothering me. No one ever tells me when there's these big, like, spots in my head. No one ever tells me. No one ever tells me. So I have to figure it out on my own. And I like never do, because I'm never just talking to it. Now I look like that. You know, I like that better. You know, whatever. This isn't for me anyway. Okay, so yeah, it's something coming to an end, coming to a completion, a cycle that's a major life cycle that's ending. And it could have to do with someone that you're working with in this endeavor, a partnership. Maybe you two went into the nonprofit daily and you have your, you know, whatever, how that corporate, or not that corporate, how that structure, that legal structure is set up. Maybe that's needing to be revamped or changed. But it's definitely something ending, and there could be travel involved. There could be a lot of travel involved with something regarding the past or someone from the past. Okay, the base of the situation, how you got into this situation, is definitely because you were inspired. Absolutely, because you were inspired to help and share and save animals and rescue animals and just give life to them and, you know, nurture them and care for them and take them into your keeping. I mean, the basis of this entire situation is because they were your inspiration to live a certain life. I mean, when I was rehabbing, it was just the most fulfilling thing. I almost did it. Like, I almost went and got my license. I almost added this aviary to my apartment. I almost extended this thing out, and because I looked up I actually have the binder here somewhere, like the wildlife rehabilitation standards for keeping. And I learned a lot about that. And so it really soothes your soul to be with these animals and to help them and rescue them. So that's definitely where you're coming from. Your heart's in a good place. Okay? Even though animal people can be some of the most psycho people. They really can be. But not you. You're good. You're one of the good. You're not one of the people. Okay, the recent past, something that you've recently done about the situation, or this is a situation that's still, or an influence that's still kind of like, you can kind of feel it a little bit, and it's fading, but you can still feel it, is that you've been gathering information, you've been looking at your options, you've been kind of seeing what's out there. And if this is a partnership that's ending, or someone that you're working with, it's like you've been on the down low, secretly kind of looking and doing some research, maybe trying to partner up with someone else, or to leave this financial structure, or maybe leave an agreement. Maybe that's kind of what this is alluding to, is that maybe you're kind of looking at ways to alter an agreement or change a contract, or you know, go back. It's about going back, a refinance, a re-evaluation, going back and doing something over again. And it looks like you've just been kind of trying to gather as much information as you could about it. Gather intel, ask, friends of friends of friends of friends, getting referrals and doing your Google searches. Okay. And where you are currently, this is the card where you are right now, in this very position. You have some major regret. You have some major regret, and you're being really hard on yourself. And I don't know what this has to do with. It could be about the partnership. It could be about whoever you're working with, because you cannot, I know I did wildlife rehabilitation, so I know you cannot do it by yourself. So this has to do with someone you're doing this with. This is definitely, people you're employing, people that you're working with in your partnership with, or people that are working for you, the hands, the extra people, the volunteers. I was a volunteer, did it for free. But you have regret about something. You have a regret about maybe how this agreement began, maybe the choices that you made, the people that you picked, or the compromises that you made, or how things just happened, or, whatever it is, you should know what you feel major regret about. It could also have nothing to do with the other person. It could be just more about you regretting your part that you played in all of this. You can maybe look back and say, you know what? I could have done something different. I could have done something better. And when there's lives on the line like this, especially animal lives, innocent animal lives, you could have been feeling regret about maybe, putting your ego before the best interest of the animals, or anything, but anything that might have to do with you taking responsibility for what you did that led you to the situation that you're in now. And I can't tell, like I said, I cannot tell if this is deserved or not. I would say try to balance this out. There's probably a little bit of truth to this, as far as you probably have a little bit of ownership in something, in some way that this all kind of came about. But you don't have to be so hard on yourself, okay? Unless you really just like took all the money and went gambling, or something crazy like that. So try to temper it, try to balance yourself. Or it could just be, or it could be regret for some, like I said, what someone else did, what someone else didn't do. Maybe you put your trust into somebody that betrayed you, that didn't keep up their end of the bargain. And then, you know what? Yeah, because look at this. The card coming up, the very next card, this is like the most immediate future, the very next thing that you're going to do about it, or the very next thing you can expect to happen regarding the situation. Wildlife rehabilitator. I was going to call you something. I didn't have anything to call you because this is like a secret sort of reading. The burdens. You're putting the burdens down. Running a wildlife sanctuary, running a farm, running all those things. It's all burden. There's grant writing that you have to do. There's cleaning. There's organizing. There's paperwork. There's driving. I mean, there's feedings every 2 hours. I mean, baby squirrels feed like every 40 minutes. Okay, it takes a lot out of you to be able to do work like that, and that's why I loved it so much, because I was just like a little mommy, little fur baby mommy. But what's coming up is either, I think this is what this has to do with this world card, this cycle that's ending. I think you're either done with shouldering all of these burdens. I think you're putting the wands down, or I think you're recalibrating. You're recalibrating, saying, you know what? I'm going to carry these staves in a different way. I'm going to prioritize, I'm going to reorganize, and I'm going to carry the most important sticks in a better way. And this partnership may or may not last. This partnership may or may not survive my reprioritizing and reorganization of how we're working together. Okay? Because you're coming out of a major cycle. You're coming out of a major life cycle. Major life cycle. This is like a lifetime cycle. So if you're feeling like all is lost, like your world is ending, like you're dying, yes, because you are. Part of you is dying so that another part of you can come to life. It's trading the world card is about trading your old life for your new life. The old you for the new you, and it's painful and it hurts. I mean, can you imagine starting out as one type of existence, one type of living organism, and then transforming into a completely different organism? I'm talking about the caterpillar and the butterfly. A caterpillar looks nothing like a butterfly. Can't do anything that the butterfly can do. The butterfly looks nothing like a caterpillar. Does not move anything like a caterpillar. Two completely different perspectives. Two completely different ways of moving through the world. Two completely different organisms and bodies. But they're the same fucking thing. Okay? It's like it's like they exist just to be a metaphor for humans, okay? Okay? Like, that's why everyone talks about butterflies and caterpillars, right? And that's what this is. The world card is the caterpillar doing its thing as far as it can go, getting to the cocoon, chilling, and then the butterfly starts to take over. And the butterfly is the thing that comes through everything else and it has to emerge from the cocoon, shed itself, and then, oh my God, I have fucking wings. Get the fuck out of here. And then they just like fly away, okay? That's what this is. And that metaphor can apply to you with your burdens. and laying down some of the burdens of the past, either with a past person, a past situation, a past behavior, maybe the way you ran the sanctuary or the farm or the establishment or the rehabilitation center, whatever it is that you're involved in that has to do with saving animals. You're ending a major cycle of how you do that. How you actually do that on a day-to-day basis is what's turning into a butterfly. But it's got to do its thing first. It's got to go through all the other stages before it can do that. See, everything has its own timing. Not just like days, weeks, months, years, animal saver, but the season of life, the seasons of life, the seasons of our own lives. So there's a season for planting and seasons for reaping the harvest and seasons for nurturing and seasons of picking the actual fruit from the tree. They're all completely different times having to do with the same circumstance, the same thing, okay? And look at it like that. This animal saving endeavor of yours, it's something that if you look back, and something's telling me that there's a long history here with this. You've been doing this. I mean, I did it like over 12 years ago. I mean, like I've done it. I did it when I was like, it's, so I think if you're like an animal lover and you're totally into the wildlife rehab thing and you do the farms and the sanctuaries and all that stuff, it's like a lifelong thing. So that's why I'm saying that, this is a major cycle kind of coming full circle here. And so you have to look at the whole history that you have with this, it's a look back and to really gauge everything that happened between when you started this and where you are now, and watch all the seasons that you've been through with this endeavor. And you have to really, and that's what I think you've been doing that. You've been getting information, and whatever you see in this past, you feel some regret about. So be a little bit kind with yourself, and just what you need to do is not take on this personality. That's the one thing I need to warn you against, is taking this on as your identity, because that's very dangerous, and you won't be able to think outside the box, and you will not be able to find the solution to your problem if you identify like this. If you are just overcome with regret, you will not be able to think on the ignition in your mind. The neurosynaptic connections will not fire. None of that will be able to go if you are just drenched in like regret drunk and just swimming in the sadness and the fear and the pain and the regret and all of those negative feelings. You won't do it. No matter how sorry for yourself that you feel, no matter how miserable you feel or sad you feel, that's not going to bring you out of it. As much as you want the knight in shining armor to come, there's no such thing. I'm so sorry to say. I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you. Let's move on. Next card. So, how other people see you. How other people see you, animal lover. Remember? It's the Fool. Other people see you as taking a really big leap of faith forward. Other people see you as starting a whole new journey. And see, I'm glad that I went with my channel, with my energy, because we have the beginning and the end in one reading. And this is incredible. Look. I love it. Oh, I love it. I'm so excited for you. So you have to look at this on the bright side. Something is ending so that something else can begin. Something better. Something way better for you and the animals. You're doing the animals a better service when you are your very best, when you're the strongest you can be. It gives me strength to know that other people are relying on me, because I know I can't let them down. So I can't let, it's easier for me to think of the animals and the kids, and it's harder for me to think of like saving myself. And I had to learn my own little lesson, blah, blah, blah. But you have to look at it that way. You have to look at the caterpillar is done. The caterpillar time is gone. It's time to be the butterfly. I wonder how long it takes before you realize you have wings. I wonder how long it takes before you realize that you can fly. Imagine if you just went to sleep for a long time and then you woke up and you're like really groggy and you go to the kitchen and you're making your coffee and then you get like an itchy feeling on your shoulder and you itch it and you're like, oh my God, I have wings, I can fly. I mean, how crazy would that be? That's the moment you're in right now, animal saver. You are between caterpillar and butterfly and you're like itching and you're like, what the fuck is that? Is that a wing? I couldn't fly when I went to bed. I know I couldn't fly when I went to bed. I was seeing dirt and trees and grass. This is crazy. What's happening to me? But animals and bugs don't question what's happening to them. They're in the moment. They're transforming in the moment. They're going with the flow. They go with their instincts. They go with their feelings. They go with their feeling of change. They honor those feelings. They honor their instincts. Okay, the butterfly isn't saying, whoa, I'm not going to fly yet. I'm a caterpillar and I'm going to go crawl in the dirt. Yeah, that's right. That sounds better for me. I'm going to go crawl in the dirt. No, they just go with it. Animals just go with it. Look at your animals, okay? If you are going through a rough time and the animal has less to eat because there's absolutely, if everyone has to take in less, that's life, according to the animal. They instantly accept everything that's going on. They never sit here and regret. It's a survival thing. Okay, the jaguar in the jungle will only take a risk when it's absolutely necessary. Because they cannot risk hurting their claws, losing a claw, because it affects how they find other food. That's predators. Predators are not going to go and just start picking fights with people. They need to go catch their food, but otherwise, they need to be very responsible because they cannot risk losing a claw. They can't risk it because if they break an arm and oh shit, they're a leg down. Oh no. Okay, but they're not sitting there thinking about it. They honor their own timing, and that's how you've got to be. You've got to just roll with this. You got to just roll with it, and that's how other people are going to see you. They're going to see you starting something new because this is already gone. It's already in the past. And it has something to do with the past. It has something to do with how you've been operating and how you've been feeling and how you've been moving through the world and behaving. The caterpillar time is over. It just is. And other people can, how other people see you is the butterfly coming out, taking the leap of faith and jumping because they know that the wings are going to come out and that they'll fly. I got the words, don't I? Okay, next card. Your hope or your fear. It's very clear. You are deathly afraid of betrayal. It could be that you're even relying on someone financially and you're worried that they're going to pull the rug out from under you. And this is why you've been kind of spying on the down low. You've been kind of getting information through means that are clandestine. And it's someone from your past. And you're afraid that they're going to hurt you and they're going to run out on you and they're going to stiff you with the bill and they're going to... I don't want to spend too much time on it. That's just what it is. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you the last two cards of your spread, of your Celtic Cross spread, animal lover, animal saver, wildlife rescuer, hero of the furry, and the hooved. Oof. Don't forget, okay? The end result card and the future milieu card. Okay? Hold on. I know I build up the suspense, don't I? Okay. Animal lover, your end result card, the final outcome of all of this is the Hermit card. You got to be alone. You got to find your soul. You got to soul searching. The hermit is the one who takes time alone. You got to take a step away from this person of the past. This might be the one that you're working with. You know, whoever that is, you should, 25 minutes and you better know who this is by now, okay? You got to go and take some time away from them. Even if you cannot physically separate from them, if you're running this wildlife rehabilitation center with your husband or your wife, okay, emotional distance, right? Boundaries. I just need 15 minutes alone. When I'm really like, and I can't get away in a situation, I go to the bathroom and I just lock the door. If I'm in a restaurant, if I'm anywhere, I go to the bathroom. Okay, that's like my secret. So shh. You need to go up to the mountain, the top of the mountain, like Zarathustra, and you need to think about all of this. Think about everything that I'm saying. And you need to, like I said, look at everything from the very beginning of this venture till now. And feel the pain, all the pain of whatever you feel regret about. Let yourself feel it so you can grow through it. Feel it to heal it. Feel it. Let yourself ask questions. Why? How? When? Where? What? And let the answers arise in your mind and in your heart, in your deepest, darkest moments, like bubbles breaking on the surface of water. Oh, that's why. That's how it came to be. Now you have the wisdom of the hermit. Now you have the immense value of the lessons that you have paid very dearly on for years and years and years. This is a major cycle of completion. And maybe it has to do with you taking on all the burdens yourself. And maybe you need to realize that, you know what? Not my monkey, not my circus. Oh, that's a funny expression now that we're like talking about animal savers here. But you need to reconcile that with yourself, whatever it is. Now, let me tell you about the next card. This is like the outcome card, but there's a card about the future milieu, the future environment. So after this comes to pass, after you take your soul searching, you become the Queen of Wands. This is a wonderful card. And look, she even has a little cat. Oh my God, look at, she has a little kitty cat right here. She has a sunflower. She has these little lions on her throne. More lion motifs in the back. Oh, I love that there's an animal in this. And this reading is for animal people who are running their animal saving operations. I love it. Who you become, this is your butterfly. This is you as your butterfly. You're going to work for yourself. Animal saver, animal sanctuary, wildlife saver. You are going to become the hard-working Queen of Wands. I call her, to myself, like I love all the queens, okay? Trust me. I call her the middle-class queen because she's a really hard fucking worker, and I love her for that. I have so much respect for hard workers. I have so much respect for middle-class women, for middle-class men and women who are working hard every single day to put food on the table, to make a safe boundary between their family and the rest of the cruel fucking world. And I have immense respect for you personally for doing that for animals who are even more defenseless in a world like this, where they're being hunted and attacked and everything else going on. I respect everything about you. And I'm so proud of you because I see what you're going through. And I know that once you go through your moment, you're going to come out the Queen of Wands. And this queen, she's not just a hard worker. She's like a planter. She plants seeds. She harvests. She reaps what she sows. And this is the thing. You've been overburdening yourself and not getting anything out of that hard work that you put in. You've been putting your hard work into, it's like you've been putting your hard work into something. And it's like you have the regret because you let someone else kind of, I don't know if it's take the credit for it, but it's like maybe the other person had the contract, the other person was cashing the checks, and you were doing like the work with the animals. And now it's something like that. Maybe not that exactly, but it's something like that. It's something where you've been putting so much hard work and not getting anything back. And it's something about your processes and how you've been doing things that's coming to an end, and you're going to start doing things differently. And That's what this is about. This is where she comes in, because she does everything right. She doesn't waste any time. She's a mover and a shaker, and she's charismatic. So you're going to be having your charisma come back to you, your personality, everything that's like charming about you and interesting and fun and relatable and kind. You know, no one can see that right now as much, because you're still in this really regretful mode. You're still really like, oh God, I just want, you know, you're still really fearful and sort of negative even. But other people are going to see this leap of faith. Other people are going to see you going out on something new for you. Okay? She reaps what she sows. You've been overburdening yourself and not reaping what you've sown. You've been putting in and not getting anything in return, and it's running you ragged. This is like exhaustion. You're exhausted. I can see it. I can see it. It's going to drive you to be the hermit whether you like it or not. This is not, this world, okay, both the world card and the Fool card in one reading out of 78 cards in the tarot deck. It's not for nothing. This is like going to happen. This is just going to happen, okay? It's like you have to go through this metamorphosis. You have to find the answers in your alone time. And then you will figure it out, because you can't figure it out right now. You're too regretful. It's clouding up your energy. It's clouding up your space. The fear, the panic, the worry, the stress. It's clouding the answer from you. And this is your life lesson. This is your life lesson. This is one of your life lessons, to emerge from that so that you can go to be alone. Let the animals, you know, let it, whatever has to happen, happen. Let someone else pick up one of these staves. Let someone else pick one of these staves up. Because you have to find your answers. You have the answer. You already have the answer. You're going to figure it out. When you find the inner answer to how you got into this situation and what life lesson was it? Was it about trusting people? Was it about letting people take advantage of you? Was it about boundaries? Was it about, old relationships? Was it, it was about something. There's some karmic reason. There's some karmic situation here that's a deeper meaning, because it's not just about like the wildlife rehabilitation or the farm or the sanctuary. It's not just about that. It's about a person from the past, or about a way of you being in the past. It's about something like that. It's something in how you're running it and how you're working with others to run it, and something about the distribution of labor here. Something about the distribution of wealth and labor and resources. And, it could have been maybe you regret taking on too much because you didn't want to compromise something for, whatever it is, you need to figure that out. And you probably already know by now. But, okay, I don't want this to go on like forever and ever. I know you have things to do and you have animals that need you right now. But the most important thing that you need to understand is to lean into the pain, because when you mind that pain, you transform that pain into wisdom, and no one can take that lesson from you. No one can take that wisdom from you, because you paid on that lesson. You paid. There's something that's coming to an end for years and years and years and years. Okay? And when you have an understanding of everything that's transpired up until now, then the answer of what to do next will come clear to you, and you will be so happy and wealthy and well taken care of and fertile, and you will have animals around you, and everyone will have enough food, and everyone will feel prosperous, and everyone will be safe and stable and secure because of you. You brought it to them. You created it. You manifested it. You know the answer. From this to this, from the Hermit to the Queen of Wands. You're going to do it and you're going to figure it out, but you have to do this first. And you have to find that inspiration again. Remember that inspiration, what really brought you to saving animals in the first place. It could be very misguided, trying to have this very, very sincere love and appreciation and desire to save animals, and it gets, it turns into something else, through other people, trying to, you know what I'm saying? So really rediscover and boil it all back down to what you're really doing this for. and mind the answers of, don't get so caught up in the regret. Okay, we make mistakes, but it's not a mistake if you learn from it. If you make a mistake and learn from it, it therefore becomes a lesson. And each lesson is like a feather in your cap. And when you have lots of feathers, you become a chief. Okay? That's what I tell my niece Ava. She's 7 years old. So don't be so hard on yourself. Look, you have the wings. You're a butterfly now. You have a wonderful new beginning ahead of you. And you got to get started, okay? So let me know how it goes. I hope this has helped you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.